What's everybody? Fuck, I really need to stop clapping. Welcome back, everybody. This is Alex241 bringing you guys a brand new video, and in today's video, we're going to be reviewing Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, I know what you're going to say. Dude, there's 150 million reviews already. I get it. It's done. But this is my personal impression of the game. I'm a huge fan of the first one. It was the game that I actually played the most. I was still playing it up until the release of the PS4, which was 3 years after the initial release of the game, which was in 2010, 2013, the PS4 came out. So you can anticipate, or you can imagine how I felt when this game was announced. So, that being said, this is my personal impression of the game, the stuff that I liked, the stuff that I didn't like, and at the end, I'll give you guys my full score of what I thought the game is, and is it worth it to pick up or not. Now, for a lot of people that have never played the first game, this is not a direct sequel. This is a prequel. So this is actually taking place before the first game. So on the first game, spoiler alert, if you haven't played the first one, don't look at the video, go play the first one, come back, and then we'll talk about this. The first game, you play as John Marston. He is an outlaw working with I'm assuming the law, working with the government to track down his old gang mates, the people in this game. So this game, you actually play as Arthur Morgan. He is, I guess you could say, Dutch Vanderlyn, one of the main guys you go after. He is, I guess, the main gang leader in this game. So you play as Arthur Morgan, his side guy, basically his right-hand man. John Marston does pop out of the game. Spoiler alert. Sorry, my bad. But anyways, these are my impressions of what I thought about the game. So first off, I'm going to be telling you guys stuff that I don't like about the game, stuff that really bugs me about the game, stuff that I just don't really consider useful, or stuff that makes the game a little bit bad for me. First of all, the map is huge. Now that's a good thing and a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. The map is huge in the way that it allows exploration. It allows a lot of stuff to happen. But the problem with that is that the map being so huge is that sometimes the missions are spread out. So let's say you find yourself in the bottom right corner of the map, whereas Saint Denis. Then you have to go do a side mission or have to collect some money from a guy named Strauss by Strawberry, which is close to the top left corner of the map. Now you have to understand, this map is huge. Now, if you don't have any money, or you don't have a lot of money to fast travel, or if this mission is at a certain time of day where I guess the coaches or the train's not available, you're forced to ride all the way to this location. And sometimes that can be tedious and annoying. Now, the cool thing about that, though, is if you really like that, is that you find interesting things in the way. Now, being the map so big, you're bound to come across strangers or sometimes random events that kind of sidetrack you from that original mission. That's the kind of the issue that I have with the game as well. There's a lot of stuff to do on the way, therefore allowing you to kind of forget about the main objective that you're trying to do at that time, and kind of force yourself to, hey, well, let's go check this out. And then sometimes you catch yourself just completely on the other side of the map where you needed to be because of something that happened. Another thing is your horses are dumb. That's another issue that I have with the game. A lot of people say, what? Sometimes you catch yourself riding real fast. The horses are not dumb, but I meant the horse mechanics in the game are sometimes dumb. They're slightly off pace a little bit. What I mean by that is that sometimes you catch yourself riding real fast and you enter a closed area where there's like a bunch of trees or something. If you don't handle your control right, or you don't mention, your horse is going to run right into that wall or ride right into that tree. And sometimes that can be a little frustrating because you're hurting yourself at the time. And if your horse is not to the full trust level, as you can say, or the bonding level, your horse will sometimes run away from you after that impact. So that's another issue that I had. Now, another issue that I have, this is a big issue, is part of three things. One, the dogs in the cities or towns are awful. They are the most stupid, ridiculous things that this game could come up with. Now, what I mean by that is that every time you're riding through, let's say, Valentine or Rhodes, these are towns in the game, Sometimes these dogs are attracted to you in the way that they'll run right in front of your horse, and then that'll cause you to get a wanted. But that's my next issue. It is so easy for you to get wanted or bounties on you in these towns because of the pedestrians or the NPCs or the dogs. They run into you, or you know, you push the wrong button and all of a sudden you're choking someone instead of getting on your horse. So definitely keep your mind that if you're in a town, I would suggest you not to full blaze run in there with your horse. Just kind of like trot a little bit, take your time, because you will end up running into one of these dogs or running into one of these pedestrians, and next thing you know, you have the law after you, and whatever you were trying to do at that time, it's just going to get ruined. So definitely slow your pace. Number 3, it's a lot of stuff. You need money for everything. So definitely try to steal as much from people if you want. If you're kind of, you know, on the opposite side of the law, try to steal. Always try to see if you can do treasure maps. Treasure maps are a really great source of money because they give you gold bars. On average, a gold bar will cost you about $500. So definitely keep that in mind. So it's you know, the weather system. That was the kind of the negatives. This is one of the positive stuff that I love about this game. The weather system. The weather system is incredible. It is, the pace of the weather system is just so on point. I caught myself riding through Saint Denis, well, actually exiting Saint Denis, going to our camp, and a rainstorm caught me. And the sheer gravity of how it transitions from a gloomy day to just a straight rainstorm, it's incredible. The game doesn't automatically just bam pop up and lightning and thunder, and you know, no. It actually, you can see the clouds forming, and you start feeling the wind rising, and you know, you start feeling the breeze. You could actually like anticipate, okay, it's going to start raining. So, you know, you change clothes or wherever up, and you kind of hurry to your objective, and then slowly but surely the rain starts drizzling. So the way that the mechanic works, the weather mechanic, is awesome. That could be with rain, sun, the storms, anything. It's amazing. Another issue that I currently have with the game, I think more negatives than positives. The missions are so far apart from each other. Sometimes when you catch yourself doing a mission for Dutch Vandalin, you end up further away from the camp, and then you have to ride all the way back to the camp to do another mission. Obviously, like I said, that also includes with the map being so big. On top of that, the missions are so spread out that you catch yourself just kind of riding. I don't know if Rockstar intended to do this. Maybe they say, you know what, we're going to do the missions kind of spread out so people can enjoy the world. If that's their idea, then okay, they succeeded. Sometimes the person like that likes to do the mission real fast, kind of get it out of the way, that way I can enjoy the world without any like responsibilities or objectives, like, oh, I have to do this mission, I have to do this mission. Obviously, like I said, everyone's different, no one's the same, so maybe some people like the map is bigger. Me personally, in my personal opinion, I think the map being big is an awesome thing because of exploration and stuff, but it's bad because of the missions are too spread out, and you sometimes have to travel from like one end of the map to the other end just to kind of complete a mission, and you know, that could also be tedious if you can't fast travel or you don't want to waste your money. Another thing is you need to find most of your guns. The guns are not available right off the bat at the gun stores or the gunsmiths. Just keep in mind that you do have to kind of explore and try to find these guns or take them off of people. If you pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition, the special editions like I did, you get certain guns like the pump action rifle and some rifles and some shotguns and pistols. But some of them you do have to find them off of people, or some of them you actually get off of missions. So if you want, like, let's say the bolt action rifle, right off the bat, you do need to do a mission far off in the game, which is like, I think chapter 4 or I think like between chapter 3 or chapter 4, that's when you get it. So definitely keep in mind, they're going to be locked. You are going to be able to go to the gunsmith and look at the catalogs, but they're going to be locked right away because you do have to find them or get them in a mission. So that's kind of tedious and annoying sometimes because you catch yourself fighting NPCs that have these guns. You can't necessarily take off of them, but sometimes you get overwhelmed by them and it kind of becomes annoying. Another thing that I kind of found useless and kind of really inconvenient was the camp itself. The fact that you have to do tedious stuff. Now, if you level up the camp, you basically don't have to hunt for the camp anymore. You don't have to supply the camp with everything. You just got to do is just go to the ledger. There's a little book next to Dutch's tent. and you can restock. So necessarily you don't have to hunt anymore, or you don't have to do anything. And I find that kind of useless because it kind of takes away from the experience. Like, oh, you have to maintain your camp. One thing I do recommend you guys to do from your camp from time to time is do your chores, like chop wood, fill up water buckets, take hay barrels or hay bales or like baskets or whatever to the horses to feed and stuff like that. Do your part from the basically do your part from the map from the camp, so you can keep your fellow campmates or the gang happy, so they can continue to give you side quests and stuff. Now that actually brings me to my next issue that I have with this. A lot of the missions can be lost. What I mean by that is that you can actually not do some missions if you choose to do others. What I mean by that is like there's the yellow main missions, right? There's like little yellow objectives that are the main missions, and then there's like little white ones that have like their names or initials. Those can be lost. You're not going to lose the yellow ones because the yellow ones are the main objectives, so you can't lose those. But the white ones, which are side missions, they can be lost because if you get so far on the main story, those missions become obsolete. They don't need them anymore. So like just say, for instance, I lost one with Mika Bell where he was going to rob a homestead, a home. I didn't do it because I chose to do the main missions and we were forced to move camps, therefore making me lose that mission, potentially losing money from that. So my suggestion to you guys is try to do as much as the white little missions as possible before you continue on with the yellow missions, which are the main missions that kind of pretty much drive the whole story to its narrative and allow you to kind of continue on. Now, if you don't care, well, then obviously just stick to the missions, but just keep in mind that some of these white missions are going to give you money, bonuses, and for instance, if you pre-order, you get the bank heist for Rhodes. That is a white mission, and you could lose it if you choose to move on with the main story. So definitely keep that in mind if you like money. So another thing that I liked is another thing that I liked and I don't like is the fact that you have to eat, sleep, shower, and clean your guns constantly. What I mean by this is you have to eat to keep your strength up, because if you don't, you start losing health automatically. Your Arthur Morgan, your character, starts being weaker. He can't run faster. He's also, be careful. Don't overeat, because if you overeat, the mechanics here are kind of like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. The more you eat, the fatter you get. So on and so forth. But the more you eat, the fatter you get, and the slower you're going to run, the heavier you're going to be for your horse. That means that the horse has to work harder to keep up. The more faster he's going to get tired. So definitely keep in mind. So eat, but don't overeat. Also shower, because if you don't shower, you're going to stink, and people try to stay away from you. And sometimes that can make you make people not want to do missions with you, or so on and so forth. They'll make you not shower. Sleep. Definitely, because there is sleep deprivation in this game, which is crazy to say, but there is sleep deprivation. What I mean by that is that if you don't sleep after a certain amount of time, your character, again, starts losing health, starts getting drowsy. His aim is a little bit off. I've noticed that if I actually went to do a mission and my aim was completely off. I saw my gun swaying a lot more than it was when after I got a good night's rest because of that. Now, that being said, it brings me down to my biggest concern with the game. This is the most concern of the whole entire game that bugs me a lot is the autosave system. The autosave system is horrible in this game. It is trash. What I mean by that is that it'll autosave a specific mission that you do, but it won't autosave the internal stuff you do in the game. What I mean by that is you just completed a main mission story, it'll save it from that point. But if you go on and do side quests and you do like help strangers or something, you will lose that if you don't save your game. So whenever you have a chance, I do recommend you to just get off of your horse, save your game. Before you exit, make sure you always save your game manually, because if you count on the automatic portion of saving game, you're going to be logging back into your game. You're going to see that you kind of backtrack to the main story, and all the stuff that you did in between could be lost. So definitely keep that in mind. So if you're going after treasure maps or something that you didn't do, you could potentially lose that money, or you could potentially lose that gold or that objective if you choose not to save. Well, with all that being said, the main I guess the main rating that I give this game, beyond the complaints that I have, it's still a very, very enjoyable game. I still catch myself getting lost in this game, finding all the side quests, all the hidden Easter eggs that the game has to offer. This game is an overall amazing, amazing experience that I cannot wait to jump back in after this video is done. So I will give it definitely a 10 out of 10. But I'm not going to. I'm actually going to give it an 8 out of 10 because of the stuff that I have issues with. But still, an 8 out of 10 is still a great, great score in my book. It's a game that I'll enjoy playing for maybe years to come until they release the new one, or when Grand Theft Auto 6 gets released. I don't know, Rockstar, it's on your, stuff like that. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, if you guys want to go ahead and pick it up, make sure to pick it up. Just keep these tips in mind if you want to. If not, that's on you. This game allows you to play however you want. But yeah, so that's my review for Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PS4. Also keep in mind that Red Dead Online should be launching anytime now. Stay tuned for that. I have good news. I'm getting my capture card hopefully this month for Black Friday or Cyber Monday. So gameplay coming real soon. Stay tuned for my review for Red Dead Online to see what's going on with that. And that being said, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you guys can make sure to be informed or be on point with my videos when they release. I'll see you guys in the next one.